TJ DeSantis, Julie Kedzie, Memorial Hall, Kansas City, Kansas. Young in the black with purple print. Suotama coming forward with some shots. Talk about the one-round fight being a sprint. These ladies are sprinting early.
Yeah, the Shanimal landed a very nice right hand early on, but she did kind of lean back a little bit, didn't push into that. I think it's because she favors those kicks so much and that reach. Suotama seems very calm, very composed here, but she's got a higher rate, I think, of exertion than we saw in their first outing.
One thing that Young said about the first meeting is the draw for the tournament was done the night before the actual fight. So this time there was actually a camp, a point of emphasis in preparing for an opponent.
I think that is extremely helpful as a professional. But I do love a tournament setting, TJ. I love the excitement of it.
Love the action here early as well. Really changing here on the feet. Taking the lead leg of Suotama.
And Suotama seems a bit stiff, a bit, she's throwing punches and bunches. Well, she just threw one punch, but she was throwing some combos early on, but she seems to be a bit cautious of the power of Young.
Takedown attempts here. Suotama able to get on top. The position she was in early in the first fight, one hook in.
And you can see she's already digging underneath the head, even though she doesn't have both hooks. I think this is a smart thing to do. I think, strategically, you want to really be inside on that taller fighter. You can see the Shanimal is grabbing at that wrist, trying to get control, trying to tip her over the top, and trying to figure out what that right leg of Suotama's doing. She's really digging in there for a hook, I think. Cage was in the way. Now there's a little bit more space, and Shanimal is pulling on Suotama's arms, trying to get her rocked to the side.
Suotama, a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, firing off that right hand. We didn't see this much in the first fight. She had back control, but she wasn't as offensive-minded with the strikes.
And this is definitely where that needs to happen here, TJ. You get somebody's back, especially when you're smaller. You've got to flatten them. You've got to hit them. You've got to make those opportunities present themselves.
Trying to lock up that figure four grip now is Suotama.
She's got her
Young in trouble.
I can't see if she's under the chin.
Suotama really squeezing. Shani Young in trouble. Hard to see. Where does Young trying to fire some punches to get out of it?
Yeah, I was going to say she was punching from the bottom, which means she's still working. You can see she's trying to shake those hooks off, and she's coming up. So Suotama doesn't have total back. I mean, she's got back control, but she doesn't have the underhooks, and she did not have that choke all the way in.
Some left hands here by the Finn. Credit to Shani Young for surviving in this position. More strikes here from Suotama. Big control here and more offense, as I said, in this back control ride than in the first fight.
And Young, in trying to control that wrist, is doing a nice job of also using the cage to kind of keep Suotama from completely stretching out. You can see she's bracing her right foot and trying to push her hips forward, trying to shake loose. Now Suotama's got that arm underneath. It's not under the chin, it's across the chin, which can be quite painful, especially if you stretch the body out, but it's not quite a choke.
That crush can elicit a tap. We've seen that in the past. I think that's what Miranda Maverick got with Deanna Bennett in the finals of the Phoenix series. Less than 90 seconds left here in round number one.
Now, by pushing the Finn's head up against the cage, she does keep her from getting complete leverage there, though, TJ. And again, she's able to get out of the dangerous position. I mean, she's still in a dangerous platform there. So Suotama's underneath her arm. I think that's smart, trying to get to that choking position where she can fight hands just as Young is concentrating on fighting hands.
1 minute remains here in round number one. Really been a dominant round for Finland's Maiju Suotama.
It is, but you can see Young's getting her hips down. She's still working. I think she's working to free, and I think she's actually, turning over on her back. Not necessarily the best thing to do, but it does shake a hook free. Now, if she uses that cage and pushes Suotama's, body up against the cage, she can kind of cheese grater her and make it a little bit difficult for her to establish a good position and maybe turn it. Oh, nope. Other hook is in now. And now it's about flattening out the taller fighter again, flattening her out, getting your underhooks with your arms and making sure you're staying in top position.
Final 10 seconds here in this opening round.
And a lot of those punches are, pulled her head out to give her targets. A lot of those punches are landing off target. But you can see Young turned all the way around now. Now she's in top position. She used her position quite well there. I think what's going on with technique and strategy and mindset.
Both of these athletes would love to keep it out of the hands of the judges, and Shanna Young coming out aggressive here in the second round.
She's coming out aggressive. She's dropping her hands a little bit. Oh, nice
beautiful
shot!
left hand. Swartzma trying to close the distance here, back in the clinch.
And Young is getting a little bit frantic there. She knows she wants to get more shots, take advantage of that. And again, Swartzma's on her back, this time on their feet. Young throwing back elbows there very nicely. And I like the way Swartzma's wrapped up over the hip, but she's got to get her hips in a better position or she's going to end up on bottom. You can see she's working to take the back once again. Young's back up on her feet, though.
Swartzma, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, Young a blue belt, and we saw Swartzma almost willing to end up on bottom to get the fight to the ground and induce a scramble, and still in control of this back.
And you can see Young was looking for a switch right there. She's looking for a way to turn the position around as she does so. She gets very tall, and so that does kind of give up more positioning. Wrapping around the head there actually puts her in, she is squaring up. She is trying to get to a belly-to-belly position where she can use her hips more, but that does give up that double leg right there, TJ. I don't know if Swartzma's quite deep enough for that. It looks like not.
Nicely done here by Young to remain on her feet and not allow Swartzma to get the fight to the floor and take her back as she did in the first round.
Yeah, Young's counter wrestling, reaching in there for the arm there and keeping her legs split is very good. You can see Swartzma's really driving hard on that, looking for trips and looking for tie-ups. And it's just kind of a matter of balancing on that leg and balancing with that cage. Ooh, pushing the head down is smart.
Kimura grip there briefly, now back at space. Young firing that left hand. That's what she stunned Swartzma with earlier. Now the Finn goes for that takedown once again.
She goes for the takedown, but she's not. She needs to come up on that. She's have more hips behind it. Young tried to crossface her, wasn't completely successful, but she was able to get her hips free. And now Swartzma's in a bad spot unless she switches things up and maybe sits through into a guard. You see a lot of blood on her hands right there, and she's turning into that single leg. And Young is able to kind of muscle her around. Young needs to free her legs completely and really start pushing on that head again. I like her positioning with that arm over the top, but I think it's not going to give her that much of a platform to hit unless she switches things all the way around. Oh, nicely done.
Back at space, you see the blood flowing from Swartzma's face. Young having a lot of success here in round number 2. Left hand again there by the Shanimal. Again on the takedown. This takedown a lot different in the second round by Swartzma than in the first.
It is, and the timing on those takedowns, wow, nice knee on the bottom, avoiding the head because the way it was wrapped up. The timing of the takedowns is good, but the follow through is not. She's not getting her hips in the position where she can continue to chain takedowns. Nice knee on the way up, and Shanimal really roughing her up, really handling her right there. I like the way the Shanimal, I'm just going to keep calling, I just love saying that. I like the way she makes that jab, an upward jab, kind of Bruce Lee style. It's able to split Swartzma's guard, and it's also able to set up an overhand and kind of a more rock-style punch.
You can see Young's confidence growing here on the feet. She's had a lot of success. Battered and bloodied is the Finn.
Battered and bloody, but she's still looking to be in it. Yeah, it's hard to see what she's trying to set up exactly. She's almost waiting for the right opportunity to jump in there, and I think she's got to make those opportunities happen a little bit more with her striking. Hard when somebody's hitting so hard and they've bloodied you up.
Now again on the takedown, but Young shutting it down, lands in top position. Now Swartzma trying to get control of the offensive-minded Shanna Young.
And this is where Young is probably really trying to make a statement. She's got to be careful of those feet. She's got to make sure she gets into good position. Because Swartzma's tricky off of her back, and she can set up those arm bars and triangles there very well if she wants to. Young's got to keep her hips down, and if you notice, she's trapping that arm a little bit, or she had her right leg, her right shin over Swartzma's right arm. Disengaged now.
Attacking with kicks now is Young. Final 10 seconds of the second round.
Ooh, big strikes there.
Shanna Young coming alive, striking at will. 10 minutes in the books. What a rallying round there for Shanna Young. Third and final round between these flyweights, Mayu Suotama and the Shanimal, Shanna Young. Fight really could be up for grabs here in this final 5 minutes. Suotama had a lot of control, also a lot of strikes in round number 1, but then Shanna Young took over in round number 2 and trying to do that here with some strikes early in round number 3.
And with Suotama, she really does need to commit to that. Whatever combination that's going to get her to the inside, she's a little bit, it's not hesitant, I think she's just looking for too much precision. Whereas, yeah, Young just, she lets it go. She lets her arms go. She lets herself fight as opposed to being precise. You can see her balance is a little off sometimes, but the power comes in those strikes as well, TJ, in that kind of total commitment to destruction.
I think the strikes are different here from Shanna Young as well. She was worried about that takedown in the first round, as she should have been, of Mayu Suotama, but now she's sitting down on her strikes a little bit more. She doesn't fear that shot and takedown attempt by Suotama as much, especially because she's sprawled out of it multiple times.
She has, but you know, if you notice, Suotama was still bouncing a little bit. She's still looking for those opportunities to get to the inside. So Young has to stay cautious here, even though she's had quite a dominant second round. She really does need to be aware that, you know, if given the opportunity, Suotama is going to try to be a backpack again.
Suotama is a savvy veteran. But now on the bottom here of Young, and immediately
nice
trying to
attempt.
frame up this armbar.
Wow.
Suotama might be in business. Young trying to fight the leg there.
And Young is bracing there with her knee and throwing strikes, and she was able to kind of break the control there, but she was in an armbar platform.
Now in side control here is Shanna Young.
And again, this is where Young needs to find where she can just hit and hit and hit. I wouldn't worry about submitting at all. I would worry about finishing this fight with strikes and with damage. Her head's going down, and then she might be looking possibly to set up some sort of head and arm. I don't know. Her right arm's on the wrong side to be able to do that. There's an arm bar possibility there. But I think just spread her out, get on top, and then just elbow the poo out of her.
Trying to go for a crucifix position here is Shanna Young. Suotama turtling up.
Yeah, going for that crucifix can be helpful as long as you use your hooks correctly. You know, now her arm is tied up and she's got to free her arm before she can, you know, do more damage with it. So it does kind of, you have to be real cautious against high-level jiu-jitsu players when you're trying to go for platforms.
Some right hands now by Young. Gotta make sure she doesn't hit the back of the head. More right hands.
And I'm loving those right hands. I'm loving the way she lets herself unhinge with the elbow, just like slam right through. Really wants to trap Suotama's arm. I actually wouldn't think nice triangle attempt, unsuccessful, but Suotama's still in this game for sure.
Allowed Young to pass. She goes knee on belly.
And I think she's using that knee to really stretch the body of the Finn, get her so that she cannot stay crunched up, and she'll expose more body parts to hit. You can see Suotama's got that underhook, the far side underhook. That can be a big game inside control. And now, again, nice tie up. This is a good time for Shanna Young to tie up and try to get that arm trapped with her leg.
Left hands here by the Shanimal. Suotama covering up.
She's definitely, she's reaching and trying to disrupt that base and then turns back around. And being attached to that inside thigh, that can somewhat slow down the opportunity to get hit, but once she's free, her head is just gonna be super exposed as it is now to be hit. You can see her wrapping her right leg up, maybe trying to set up a leg lock there. Really doesn't, I think, have enough juice or enough leverage to get anything done right there. But I could be wrong.
Another solid round being turned in here by Shanna Young. Suotama has less than 40 seconds to get this fight back in her possession, but the Shanimal in full Shanimal mode, I guess.
She really is, and you can see she's walking right over to a mount now. Beautiful, beautiful read there. Huge power in those hands. Even if they hit, nice high mount. And even if they're hitting the gloves sometimes, it really sends a message and puts a lot of shockwave through the head. This is a great, great fight.
A huge statement being turned in here by Shanna Young. Final 10 seconds of the fight. Suotama covering up. Marcio Silva taking a look.
She's covering up, and now her back is taken. It's a total reversal than what we saw in the first round.
15 minutes in the books. They only had 5 minutes to work back in September. Tonight, we go 15 full minutes. Suotama, solid first round, but Shanna Young bided her time, and when she took over, she did not let Suotama back in the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge Kevin Champion scores it 29-27. Judge Greg DeVilbiss scores it 28-27. And Judge Stephen Graham with a score of 28-26. Your winner out of the red corner, the Shanimal, Shanna